Hello and welcome to Bottoms Down Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol and I'm so glad you've joined us today. So I hope you're enjoying our new format. We've got some longer and shorter classes. We've added some new sections to the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage to make it easier to find classes by length or purpose or body area. So be sure and check it out. And if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. Don't forget, it's free and we'd love to hear from you. So leave a comment. Now in today's practice, we're going to explore some poses to get that body moving and engage our natural fat burning capability. So you'll only need a chair for today's class, and let's get started. Okay, so we're going to sit up nice and tall in our chair and we're going to move forward, right? So we don't want to be leaning back, we want to be moved forward. Let's go ahead and think about planting our feet on the floor. We call this grounding in yoga, so we're grounding our feet to the earth, basically. And we want to make sure that we have those 4 pressure points. So if you naturally pronate your feet, right, I want you to really pay close attention to having all 4 of those pressure points equally weighted on the floor. And the next thing I want you to think about is grounding your sits bones. So we tend to, generally we favor one side or the other. It's just a very common thing. So I want you to consciously think, just like we're thinking about our feet, consciously think about keeping those sits bones grounded and keeping that weight equal. Okay, so we're going to lift our heart up, feel that belly engage, pull those shoulders out of the ears, place your hands lightly on your thighs. Close your eyes or soften your eyes and connect to your heart center. So this is time just for you. Let go of everything outside of this room and just focus on your heart center. Now we're going to connect to our breath. So just feel your natural inhalation and exhalation. We're going to move into that diaphragmatic breath, that belly breath. As you inhale, the belly extends. We're filling the lungs from the bottom up. And as you exhale, you're going to actively pull the belly button to the spine and push the air up and out of the lungs. Do that a couple of times. Now we're going to do that 2 more times and see if you can make your exhalation maybe 5, 6, 7 counts where your inhalation is 4. I just want you to make that exhalation longer than the inhalation. Go ahead at your own pace. And breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your intention for today's practice. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs. Open your eyes. See how that feels. Good. Let's drop our right ear to our right shoulder and feel that stretch. And go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest. Let's drop our left ear towards our left shoulder, feeling that stretch. And let's drop chin to chest one more time. Lovely. Go ahead and look to the front of the room. Let's look over that right shoulder. And look center, and look over that left shoulder. Oh yeah, that should feel really good. Go ahead and look center and roll. Shoulders roll up, back and down. And up, back and down. Let's add the breath. Let's reverse it. Inhale as they come up. Exhale as they roll down. Inhale as they come up. Exhale as they roll down. And release. Beautiful. All right. Let's do a little cat and cow. We're going to place our hands lightly on our thighs, belly button to spine. Round your shoulders, tuck your chin, look at that belly button. Let's lift up, grab the back of your chair, squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back, lift that heart and feel that cow pose. Let's do that again. Round it down into cat, tuck your chin, lift it up into cow. We're going to add the breath here. Inhale into your cow pose, exhale into your cat pose, inhale into cow, exhale into cat. Can we do that one more time? Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Yeah, that feels good. And release. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to start in extended mountain. So you're going to take those hands up to the ceiling. Shoulders are down. We're trying to touch the ceiling with our fingertips. Beautiful. Take your right hand down. So we're going to try to touch the floor with our right hand and try to touch the ceiling with our left. Lengthen through, lengthen through, lengthen through, and release. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Let's start in mountain pose. Shoulders are down, belly is tight, trying to touch the ceiling with our fingertips. Left hand comes down to the floor. We're stretching through, extending, stretching. One more breath and release and roll those shoulders. Oh, yeah. And reverse it. All right. We're going to take that right hand, place it on the outside of this knee, other hand back behind, extend the spine, and a seated twist. I'm looking over that shoulder, right? We're just breathing here. And release it, and let's go to the other side. You've got this. Extend and twist and breathe. One more breath here and release. Beautiful. All right, let's do a little bit for our legs. So we're going to take that right knee, we're going to open it nice and wide. Let's take this arm, bring it all the way across our body, grab the chair, extend the spine long first, then you're going to turn and look over the back of your chair. So don't leave out that lengthening of the spine piece. That's really important. Let's release it, and we're going to do that again. All the way across the body, extend and twist. And breathe. And release it. Beautiful. We're going to let this knee fall straight down towards the floor, and we're going to start into a crescent lunge. Now, the first version of crescent lunge is your knee is straight down towards the floor. Your hands are just resting here on your thigh, and that could be where you want to stay, and that's a great version. But if you've got a little bit more availability in this leg, you're just going to press it back behind you. I'm still up on my back toes though, okay? I'm lifting my heart up. So whether you have the knee bent or not, you want to keep that head up towards the ceiling, heart is lifted. Let's release it and let's do it one more time. Here we go. Oh yeah, heart is lifted, feeling the stretch. One more breath and release. Okay, so the same leg, we just stretched the front of that leg. Now they're going to stretch the back of the leg in pyramid pose. So we're going to extend that leg long, toes are to the ceiling. Lift first, hinge forward, hands are on thighs for support. And we're feeling the back of this leg stretch. Do you feel it? Keep that back flat, right? So like in cat pose, we were rounding. Well, in this particular pyramid pose, I want you to keep the back flat. Don't round. It just maximizes the stretch. We'll just go ahead and lift up. We're going to do that one more time. Extend first. Keep the back flat. Let that heart fall. Oh, yeah. And release it. So remember, we're warming up, right? So just be very gentle. Okay, let's do the other side. So we're going to take this knee and we're going to open it up nice and wide. So notice how to begin with, you should be beginning to feel a nice stretch on those inner thighs. So let's keep these knees open. This knee tends to want to fold in, and I would want you to keep it open. Even if you need to heel toe your foot in a little bit, I would rather you do that and keep the knee in alignment with the toes than have your foot out here and your knee forward because you've got a little tightness in that inner thigh. Okay, does that make sense? Keep those knees in alignment. All right, here we go. Bring that arm all the way across your body. Grab your chair. Crown of the head lifts. We're going to turn and look over the back of the chair. Now right here, everybody turn and look at that knee. What's happening to your knee, right? Is it folding in? Don't let it. Let's release that and do it one more time. See, I know, I don't even have to see you, and I know what's happening, right? Grab that chair, crown of the head lifts, turn and look over the back of your chair. It's just natural for that knee to want to fold in. But I don't want you to let it release it, right? Okay, knee down towards the floor. Remember, you can stay right here. Great version. Stretching the front of that leg, everything is fine. If you want a little bit more, push that foot back behind you. You can hold on to the chair if that feels a little bit better for you, or you can have your hand on your thigh. It doesn't matter. Ha! Let's release that knee and do it one more time. Here we go. Press it back. So kind of the back of the kneecap towards the ceiling is the feeling that I want you to have. Release this glute, so we don't want to have a death grip, as I call it, on that glute. We're kind of relaxing this leg, feeling the front of that leg stretching, getting that quadricep muscle and that hip flexor. All right, let's release it and face forward. Okay, pyramid pose, right? Extend that leg out, toes to the ceiling. You can have your hands right here for support. Lengthen through the spine, belly is tight. Let your heart fall forward. Ha, breathing. Let's lift that heart and do that one more time. Remember, we're warming up though. Don't do anything drastic. We're warming things up. We're taking it gentle. We're being gentle with our bodies. One more breath here and release it. Okay, let's grab a sip of water. Okay, so we're sitting up nice and tall in our chair, and we're going to move through a sun salutation. So we're going to bring our hands to our heart to start with. All right, so we're going to inhale as we come up. We're going to bring those hands together at the ceiling, mountain pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Up we go. Big circle around. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to keep on going all the way up. Interlace fingers, pointer finger to the ceiling. We're going to lean our mountain. We're going to come up and we're going to lean our mountain the other way. We're going to come up. Now, we're going to swan dive forward. Pull that belly button into your spine. Make sure you're protecting that low back. Place your hands in airplane arms. Extend your spine long, trying to put space between each and every vertebra, lengthening through that spine. One more breath. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to do that one more time, just like that. Up we go. Big circle around. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to come up to mountain pose, interlace fingers. Let's lean that mountain. We're going to come up and we're going to lean it the other way. And we're going to come up and we're going to make that big swan dive forward into that forward salute. Stretch, lengthen through that spine. One more breath. Place your hands or your arms on your thighs. Let your heart fall forward into a forward fold. See how that feels on the back. Right? One more breath here. Tuck the chin and roll it out. Okay. So there was a sun salutation. Now we're going to continue moving through our sun salutation, but we're going to add a chair pose. And in that chair pose, that's where we're going to begin to build some heat. So we're going to hold the chair pose, and then we're going to do it a few different ways. So we're going to begin to build some heat, and that gets that metabolism going, right? And there's where our fat burning begins to happen, our own natural body's ability to burn that fat. All right, let's bring those hands to the heart. Here we go. Big circle, up we go. And bring your hands to your heart. We're going to leave out the leaning mountain. So we're going to come back up to mountain and we're going to dive it forward into that forward salute. Stretch it out, stretch it out, stretch it out. Place your arms on those thighs. Let your heart fall forward into a forward fold. All right. Now, From your forward fold, what you're going to do is you're going to lift your heart back up. Bring your hands to your heart. Actually, let's start. Put your hands right on your thighs. Act like you're going to get out of the chair, but no. So we're activating our big muscles here, our quadricep muscles. Our belly is tight. We're pressing down on those thighs. We're acting like we're getting out of the chair, but we're not. One more breath. Release. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to do that again. Up we go. Bring your hands to heart. Now we're coming to mountain. We're going to dive forward into that forward salute. Don't forget to stretch. Lengthen through those hands. Head toward forward. Arms are back. Bring your hands to your heart. Act like you're going to get out of the chair, but don't. Or you can have your hands on your thighs if you prefer that. One more breath and release. Now, what we're adding on is our hips are going to come up off the chair this time. Have your hands on your thighs, pressing. Here we go. Hands to heart. Up we go. Big circle. Hands to heart. Up to mountain. Diving forward. Belly button to spine. Forward salute. Stretch. One more breath. Forward fold. I think I left this one out last time. Sorry about that. Forward fold. Now bring your hands to your heart, or you can have your hands on your thighs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Hips come up off the chair. Okay, now hold it. Hold that right there. I'm going to turn to the side. I want you to see what's happening. So what happens invariably, I want you to look down at your toes. Can you see your toes and can you wiggle them, right? I want those hips back. Hips are back. So inevitably what happens is people want to bring those knees forward. I don't want you to do that. I want you to bring those hips back. Go ahead and have a seat. So what happens when you bring your hips back, first of all, you protect your knees. But second of all, it really engages those quadriceps, doesn't it? You feel it? All right. Okay, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to do that again. Up we go. Bring your hands to your heart. Up to mountain. Dive forward to forward salute. Stretch out those arms, airplane arms. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Forward fold. Ha. All right, are we ready? Lift your heart. Bring your hands to your heart or your hands on your thighs. Take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, up we go. Everybody look down. Can you see your toes? Can you wiggle them? Are your knees behind your toes, right? You want those hips back. One more breath here. Now the extension or the add-on here is we're extending those arms out. I'm looking down at the floor, all right? No wrinkles in the neck. I'm extending those arms long. Oh yeah, you feeling a little heat in those legs? One more breath. Bring your hands to your heart. Have a seat. Here we go. Up. Bring your hands to your heart. Mountain pose. Dive forward to that forward salute. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Forward fold. Ha. Lift your heart. Hands to heart. Take a deep breath in. Up we go. All right. Listen to my voice. Extend those arms out. Change is coming. One more breath here. Now, instead of sitting down, we're going to stand up. And we're going to dive forward. Belly button to spine. Hands on your shins. Halfway lift. Extend that spine long. Forward fold. Ha. Bring your hands to your heart. Sit into your chair pose. Shoot those hips back. Extend those arms long. Shoulders are down out of the ears. One more breath. Bring your hands to your heart. Have a seat. Here we go. Up we go. Dive forward. Ha. Halfway lift is your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands to your heart. Come into your chair pose. One more breath here. Extend those arms long. Oh yeah, are we ready? Take a deep breath in, standing up. Inhale here. Dive it forward. Ha. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands to your heart. Sit back in your child's chair pose. One more breath. Have a seat. Now, we're going to do one more, and this one's going to feel weird, but it's just a cool thing to do. We're going to take our feet wide, okay? So now we're still using the same muscles. We're still activating our quads and everything, but we're going to get a little inner thigh work too. We're only going to do one, all right? But we're going to go through the whole thing. Are we ready? Bring your hands to your heart. Up we go into that sun. Bring your hands here. Up we go. Diving forward, belly button to spine. Forward salute. Arms on your thighs. Forward fold. Lift your heart. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. Come into your chair pose. It feels weird, doesn't it? I know it does. Same thing goes though. Knees behind toes. You should be able to wiggle your toes. Your hips are back. Extend those arms long. Looking down at the floor. One more breath. Stand up. Hands to the ceiling. Dive it forward. Belly button to spine. High. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Come into your chair pose. Wide-legged chair pose. One more breath. Have a seat and release. Ha! How'd you do? Everything good? All right, let's grab a sip of water. Okay, in our next section, this is a series called Boat Pose. Now, we're going to build into this, and so I'm going to give you lots of options, and you're just going to kind of pick and choose what works for you, okay? But I'm going to give us, we're going to add on, and you know with me, you don't ever have to add on, okay? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a hold of our chair, all right? So you're going to hang on. We're just going to lift one knee up. Do you feel your belly engage? Put that knee down. That's what I want you to feel. I want you to lift that other knee up, feel that activation of your abdominal muscles, and put that leg down. Let's do it again. Lift and down and lift and down. Okay, so feeling how your belly is pulling in. I want those, belly button to spine. Feel those abdominal muscles activate. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to keep holding onto our chair. We're going to lift one knee up, then the other knee up. Then put that knee down and put the other knee down. Okay, so here we go. Lift and down and down. Other side. Lift and down and down. Repeat. Lift and down and down. Other side. Lift and down and down. Okay. Checking in. How's that feeling? Feeling okay? All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lift both knees up and we're going to hold it there for a few breaths, okay? Holding onto our chair. Let's lift up and hold and breathe. All right? We're breathing. We're breathing. Our belly is tight. We're not rounding our spine, right? Keep that spine long. Lift that heart up. Belly is tight. One more breath. Put one foot down. Put the other foot down and see how that felt. Okay. So the next progression for this pose, this series, is we're going to try to do that whole thing just that we just did without holding onto the chair. Now, I know if you want to grab the chair, it's fine, right? That's what the chair is for. It's okay. If you want to try it with me, what I like to do is have my palms facing up. Shoulders are back. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind you, okay? Now, I will tell you one more quick little thing. You will be leaning back some, okay? So don't think that you've got to keep the head totally up to the ceiling. You will be leaning back a little bit to create, you come back onto that tailbone so that you can create that balance to pull that belly in. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. We're going to lift and lower and lift and lower. Again, lift and lower and lift and lower. Last time, lift and lower and lift and lower. Okay. Now we're going to lift one knee, lift the other knee, that knee down, the other knee down, right? Without holding, but we're going to lift them. Here we go. Lift and down and down. Other side. Lift and down and down. Other side. Lift and down and down. Lift and down and down. So how did that feel? Checking in, right? If it's bugging your back, hold on to the chair. Try not to round. Try not to use the back. I want you to really concentrate on activating those abdominal muscles. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to try to just hold both of those knees up without holding the chair. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. Let's lift up and hold. So we're balancing up on that tailbone. Our belly is tight. Heart is lifted, right? Extending that spine long. We're holding and we're breathing. You might be shaking a little by now. It's okay. One more breath and release. Okay. Next version of this series. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lift one knee up, lift the other knee up. Okay, so we're holding onto the chair and we're balanced. So now, instead of putting the toes down, we're going to extend that leg up and bring it in. Extend the other leg out and bring it in. Do that again. Out and in and out and in. One more. Out and in and out and in. Come back down. Let's do a little cat and cow. Are you feeling that low back? My heart rate is up. I'm breathing heavy, which is the whole idea, right? Okay. Can we do that very last one without holding the chair? Give it a try. See what you think. I'm moving a little further forward in my chair so that whenever I balance up on that tailbone, I've got some space for the back of my chair, okay? All right, are we ready? Here we go. Let's everybody just come up first, balance. Whew. Now remember, if you want to do the foot down, the foot down, the foot down, the foot down, that's fine. If you're with me, here we go. We're going to extend and in. Extend and in. Belly tight. Extend and in. Are your legs shaking? Mine are. And in. One more. Extend and in. Last time. Extend, in, hold, breathe, extending, spine long, one more breath, and release. Oh, baby, how did that feel? Let's do a little cat and cow. Oh, yeah. Let that heart rate come back down. Open up. Want to do that again? All right. Very good. And open. All right. Very good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to work into is a vinyasa. And remember, all a vinyasa is that we add some poses together, right? And we make a little flow out of them. So we're going to start in a warrior two. And in your warrior two, we're going to extend our left leg long. Notice that I'm kind of up on the edge of that foot over there. Okay, do you see that? And you can be a little forward in your chair. It's okay. If this, cuts into your inner thigh, it's okay. You can move forward. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take two heel toes with this foot. And now I want you to take this knee and make sure it's right in alignment with your second toe, okay? So we're not going to let that knee fall in. We're going to keep that knee open. So you have to actively do that, right? Naturally, the knee's going to want to fall in. I want you to actively pull it open, work your inner thigh, okay? So here's our legs for our warrior two with extended. Now, let's bring those arms into play. Paying attention to where is your center of your body. We tend to want to be forward with those ribs. I want you to pull the ribs center, right? So we want that energy flow, if you will, to go up and down without any obstruction. Now, we're going to take that right palm, flip it to the ceiling, lift it up. Left hand is on this back thigh for a reverse warrior. We're going to come back to that warrior two. And now we're going to move into a side angle pose. So I'm going to take the fleshy part of my right arm and I'm going to place it on the fleshy part of my right leg. Palm is facing up, arms extended. Now let's take this hand that's in the air, place it on our waist, lift that heart up, and now extend that arm. One more breath here. Press back up into that warrior two. Let's reverse that warrior up and back. Back to your warrior two, side angle pose. Extend that arm out, place your hand on your waist, lift your heart up, extend that left arm out, right wrist to right ankle. Maybe you want to try that. It's okay. One more breath. Press back up into that warrior two. Reverse that warrior up and back. Back to warrior two, side angle pose. Drop that right wrist by right ankle. Press back up into your warrior two. Reverse that warrior up and back. Back to warrior two. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in those arms. Squeeze, 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 and release it. How's that feel? A little stretching going on in the legs, a little activeness going on in the upper body. You should feel it. All right, let's do the other side. So I'm going to extend my left leg, my right leg long now, okay? So I'm up on that edge of that foot, right? So I don't want you to have the toes pointed out. That puts so much pressure on that knee, and it's activating the quadricep. We want the foot to be at an angle, takes pressure off the knee, and we're activating that inner thigh, which is where we want to be working. So take 2 heel toes with that front leg. I'm going to move forward just a little bit, right? Okay, we want knee in alignment with that second toe. Heart is lifted. Bring those arms out. Here's your beautiful warrior two. All right, check in on those ribs, right? We want the ribs to be right in the center. You can feel it. You can feel it when those ribs aren't right. Is that knee wanting to come in? It probably is. I want you to actively think about pulling that knee in. Look over those left fingertips. Flip the left fingers to the ceiling, the left palm to the ceiling. Now, it's going to come up. You're trying to reach the ceiling first. Then you're going to reverse that warrior and feel that stretch in the side waist. All right, come back to warrior two. Now, the fleshy part of the left arm is on the fleshy part of that left leg. Arms extended. Put your hand on the waist. Lift your heart. Extend that arm. One more breath. Let's come back to warrior two. Ready? Flip that palm up and back. Reverse your warrior. Back to your warrior two. Side angle pose. Put your hand on your waist. Lift. Extend. Now, do you want to take the hand back down by your leg? So I call it wrist by ankle. You can if you want. You can leave that out if you don't want to do it. Are we ready? Press back to that warrior two. Flip that palm up. Reverse that warrior up and back. Back to warrior two. Side angle pose. Lift that heart up. Place that wrist by the ankle if you want. Oh my goodness, there's that inner thigh. Hello. One more breath. Press up to that warrior two. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in those arms. Activate that upper body. One more breath. And release. Bring that leg in. Whew, how's that feel? All right, let's grab a sip of water. Okay, we're going to move into that half Lord of the Fishes pose. So we're going to take our right knee, open it nice and wide. Feel that inner thigh stretching. Take that arm, bring it all the way across your body, grab the chair. Crown of the head lifts towards the ceiling, and then we're going to turn and look over the back of our chair. Let's release that and do that one more time. Lift and twist. And release it. Okay, we're going to let this knee fall down towards the floor. Press your foot back behind you if you want it that way. You're up on those back toes. Heart is lifted. Crescent lunge. Let's release that knee and do that one more time. Pressing the back of the kneecap up. Heart is lifted. And release. Good. Face forward. We're going to let this leg extend that leg out, toes towards the ceiling. All right. Lift. Let that heart fall forward, keeping the back flat. Let's go ahead and lift up and do that one more time. Don't forget to extend the spine first, then let that heart fall forward. And release it. Okay, we're going to do our pigeon pose. So you've got options here. You can cross your ankle to ankle if that feels better for you, or you can cross ankle to knee. Let's extend the spine long and let our heart just fall forward. You should be feeling a pretty good stretch through this hip and glute here. Let's lift up and rock our baby. So we're just kind of moving that joint a little bit. All right, let's do that again. Extend the spine long. This time I'm going to put my elbow here on my knee, and I'm going to put my chin on my fingers and press. And if you don't like this, it's okay. Just do the other version. It's all good. One more breath. And rock that baby. Okay, and the final version, you got two others. If you'd rather either of those two are fine. Or extend your hands up towards the ceiling, out as far towards the wall in front of you as you can go, and then let those hands just drop towards the floor. Release that, and let's do the other side. So we're going to take this knee and open it nice and wide. Bring that hand all the way across your body. Grab the chair. Crown of the head lifts. Turn. Look over the back of your chair and breathe. Let's release that and do it again. Lift and twist. And release. This knee falls towards the floor, pushing that foot behind you, lifting your heart into your crescent lunge. Let's release that and do it again. So it's kind of thinking about pressing the back of the kneecap up towards the ceiling, and you'll really get a nice stretch in the front of that leg. And release it, face forward. Okay, this leg is going to extend out, toes to the ceiling, lift through the spine, let that heart fall forward. Let's go ahead and come up. Do that one more time. Extend and hinge. Okay, pigeon pose. We're going to cross either ankle to ankle or ankle to knee. Lengthen through the spine and let that heart fall forward, feeling that stretch in this hip and glute. All right, let's lift our heart up, rock our baby. And do that again. Extend first. Oh, let's put that elbow here, chin on fingers, pressing gently. And up we go. Rock your baby. And you can do either of those two versions, or if you like this one, extend the arms up to the ceiling, out towards the wall in front of you, and let that heart fall forward. And release. All right, let's sit back in our chair. You can lean back now. Just place your hands lightly on your thighs, palms facing up. Close your eyes or soften your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Still care. There was a time when you cared. There is an important part of you that still does. You've given up enough, given up on enough already. Understand right now that you never had to give up and never have to again. The world is an unending source of richness, and you are able from this day on to expand upon it all. Your weakness in the past is now transformed into strength. Your mistakes have become your greatest teachers. What you know now is more important than what you didn't know then. What you can do now eclipses anything you failed to do before. This time, this day, take the opportunity and live the power and goodness in your choice to still care. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with your right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with your hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with your left hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. Remember, if you would click on that subscribe button, I would appreciate it. Leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.